Hello and welcome to episode 62 of my easy mode playthrough of Might and Magic 6 The Mandate of Heaven. Last episode we obtained the ancient technology, we learned how to operate blasters, which is apparently very easy even for the medieval mind. And we are standing in front of Castle Iron Fist in order to free Archibald from his stony coffin. So before I go there, I actually know what to do, but what I'm gonna do is tell you through the words of the seer that we've come to trust and love.
I've been expecting you.
Before you destroy the reactor, you will need a spell capable of containing the resulting explosions. You must free Archibald from his stone prison. Talk to Nikolai and bring him the third eye. He will allow you to use Tanir's bell to turn Archibald back to normal. From there, you should be able to convince Archibald to give you the knowledge you need. Okay, so we need to talk to Nikolai and get the third eye. So let's talk to Nikolai.
Who goes there?
Master Nikolai Iron Fist, Prince and heir to the throne of Enroth.
You want to free Archibald? If the Oracle told you to do it, I guess we should. I perhaps should stop trying to make a little kid's voice. But he'll be trouble once he's loose, that's for sure. I know where the bell is that turned him to stone, but I can't open the family vault it's in without the third eye. It's one of the three gems. It's one of three gems you need to put into the door of the vault in order to open it. I've got two of them. One is in my father's crown and one is in my scepter. But my father hid the third one and he didn't tell me where it is. If you could find it, I could open the vault and get the bell. Of the third eye, I can't get into the vault to get you the bell that will release Archibald. He must have hidden it near the castle because he used to just go right outside and fetch it whenever he needed to open the vault. This is a very short quest. It doesn't give any experience points or anything, but if you read the letters that are in the manual for this game, and these are the 5 letters from Roland to his wife Catherine, the last letter actually says it says the location of the third eye. It says something about tell Nikolai that the third eye is in the well. So these are the days when you actually had to read manuals in order to get a good bearing on what the game is about and how to play it. Right now games are so easy and so straightforward that you don't need that. So the third eye, a large flawless purple gem and on a golden base. So let's give it to Nikolai. Show we have 5,352,000.
Halt! Who goes there?
Oh, and we have glorious reputation.
Master Nikolai Iron Fist, Prince and heir to the throne of Enroth.
You found the third eye. Alright, wait here. The bell should be in the vault. Okay, here it is. Well, that was fast. Thank you, Nikolai. Hope you know what you're doing. Everyone says my uncle is quite treacherous. So the Tanir's bell. We can actually ring it. The tone given by the small silver bell seems wrong. It should be much higher than it is. So this is library, King's Library, where the Archibald is. I think I showed you this in the, in the episode of in the distant past. So there's going to be a short animation. Where we rang the bell and he's turned back from stone. And this portrait is actually the one that's in the Might and Magic 2 Heroes of Might and Magic 2 game when you play the campaign. Release Archibald Iron Fist. Now wait just a minute, Tanir, and I'll make it worth your while to let me... Oh. I guess I have you people to thank for releasing me from my prison of stone. Thank you. You say you need a spell that I've created. Well, as a reward I'll give you the Ritual of the Void. Use it in good health. Now, I'm sure you're very busy, as am I. Archibald waves his arms and fades away. Yes, now the library is empty. But we have Ritual of the Void. Ritual described on the scroll seems to be a complex magical formula requiring the caster to face the target from a distance and follow a lengthy exacting series of steps. You can't figure out what the effect of the spell will be once it's been cast. But we need it. So I'm gonna exchange now the weapons now to blaster rifles for everybody. Okay, so now it's time to so just want to show you we got 50,000 points and we are eligible to train to level, well, several levels. It's gonna cost, I don't know, 300,000, so I have to wait until dawn. It's 18th of August.
Hey, look. Well done. Well done. Well done. Not today. Well done. Well done. Well, not to. Well done. Well done. Well, not to. Well done. Well done. Well, not today.
So he gained in all of this 8 levels above them. So he has 330 skill points and the rest have just 267. So he's like pretty beefed. So I have to give everybody skill level 4 before we go anywhere else. So what happens now is, now we freed Archibald from the stone prison, and it is 26th of August. So let's get the last hint from, if we can, from Seer.
I've been expecting you.
Now you must destroy the Kriegen Hive, destroy the reactor, defeat their queen, and make sure to escape with the Ritual of the Void, and you will succeed in your task. So what this means, we have to go to Kriegen Hive, destroy the reactor that we were told about, defeat the queen of the devils, and have Ritual of the Void in our possession, otherwise the game is finished, but it's lost. So I'm gonna TP to New Sorpigal, because this is where we need to go. Actually, I'm gonna sell
Looking for a weapon?
these weapons, because we don't need them.
Come again.
I have no idea why would you use pistols when you have the rifles. Like, rifles are much better. And now I'm gonna go to a person that we met in episode 1 of this series, when I said we're gonna come back here at some point.
Nice to see you.
So Igor the teacher teaches expertise in ancient weapons. The weapon today can match the power of the weapons from the time of wonders. I'm not sure any of those ancient weapons exist anymore, but I can show you some tricks if you find one. Really, I'm not crazy. So
Okay.
even though these weapons were forgotten, like before the silence, time of wonders and all that thing, they must have, there must have been rumors of them really existing, that those rumors persisted for 1 millennium, really. And somehow this guy knows how to use them in an obscure village in the at the end of the Enroth. There's also of Rexella. Very few people even know that these weapons exist. The only other person I've ever seen using an ancient weapon is Rexella. But she was last living in Paradise Valley. I'm not sure she's even there anymore. So these weapons are actually out in the world. Not all of them are were in the control center, which makes sense from what we were told in the control center in the last episode, when it was said that there were some colonies that the control center lost contact with. So might have been something there.
Nice to see you.
So Rexella, she has one bug eye. Long ago, I found an old weapon that fired sunlight and could kill almost anything I used it against. I killed so many dragons, it got to be routine. I could shoot them out of the sky like big slow ducks. One day, it just stopped working and my career as a dragon slayer ended. If you ever bring me one, I'll show you how to use it right for 5,000 gold. So we just need to possess the blaster.
Yes. Okay.
And we'll be
Okay.
made masters. So, mastery just triples attack bonus that we have from the skill. Yeah. So this is the last we're seeing of Paradise Valley. So I think I'm gonna now upgrade my skills. So with you, the bodybuilding is paramount, I think, and put rest into blaster mastery. With you, I'm gonna go body magic, bodybuilding a bit. Actually, a bit of meditation, I guess. I have 20. If I spend 22 points, it's gonna be. That's gonna be perfect. With you, light magic, meditation, and a bit of blaster mastery. With you, Aoife, dark magic, obviously. Meditation to get a bit more spell points. I think blaster mastery. I'm gonna get this one up level. Perfect. I like it. So we have some horseshoes to distribute, so I would need 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And you have 5 points. And we have to so what can I get you? Yeah, why not? At this point it doesn't really matter. Okay. So now we're flying towards Sweetwater, where this whole story began. Three years ago by the reckoning of the game time. So first of all, I'm gonna cast fly. So this map is relatively, well, it's actually quite empty. There are 2 places of interest here. Okay, several places. So there was the obelisk, the pedestal over here. But this thing is a nice little fountain that gives plus 50 to all stats temporarily. So I'm gonna set Lloyd's Beacon over here. Next thing, they have protection. And Hour of Power. So since this map is relatively empty, I'm not gonna go through to Quickspire just yet. I'm gonna do it at the end.
Yes.
There are enemies which are susceptible to Starburst, and these are the devils that we already met. spell.
Yes, we got him.
And these are the enemies that we haven't seen before. So these are the Devil Captain. I think this lowest devil. Devil Master is the middle tier, and Devil King is the top tier. So they're not well with the. As you can see, they're susceptible to starburst, so they're very easily killed. But they can remove all your spell points, which is dangerous if it ever happens to Aoife. This was an inn, it got burned out. So remember, this was the town that was attacked at the very beginning of the game. This was the let's say the first animation that we saw when we started the game. This is the place. We're just following. We're just following the route back home, really. So I remember I played a game very long ago where I just cheated myself a blaster right from the very beginning and pretended like I was some you know, Star Wars character or a stormtrooper, you know, just going off with all the blasters and shooting everything in sight. As you might imagine, the game was quite boring. I'm just fine here. There's really no enemies in this area, but I just want to uncover the whole map so that you can't say I missed something. Yeah, so the game was pretty boring, and like I finished it quite fast. Yeah, so this is the let's say the square that the initial, let's say where the story began. They landed quite close. The hive is actually over there, so they landed over there and they attacked the town of Sweetor, and this is actually Tower of the Devils. We'll see it again. Okay. Yeah, there's Devil Master, the middle tier.
Yeah!
Don't run away. Yeah, so they can shoot meteor shower as well, but it missed us all, which is hilarious.
Yes, we got it.
Okay, so let's visit. Let's see our town. So this well is poison, obviously, because they're devils. So there was like general stores. The store is inoperable. Yeah, all burned out. All village been dead for 3 years. And I don't know what the name is, Sweetwater, but I guess this oasis is the reason. Or perhaps it looked differently before the Devils came out. We heard in Paradise Valley that it was really a paradise before the Devils came. So perhaps, you know, the same. This was perhaps once a very lush county that got you know, attacked by the Devils, and that's why. Oh, I have to go back there actually. This is poison as well. Ah, I missed some enemies. Very nice. tree stump. So I don't really need to use blasters. Bows work very well, and I guess in the hive we'll forgo blasters until we get to the reactor, because that's mostly close quarters combat, so I can do much more damage with other types of weapons. Alright, there's nothing here. So let's go and see how the hive looks like. These are the old devils, the older generation that we already saw in Stergos mines and in the He can remove my spell points, so he's the most dangerous one. So 300 hit points is like 10 shots. If we are unlucky. Set beacon here. Paradise Valley.
Yes, we got him.
Is that all? No, that's not all. There's one more batch. I think this is all. Yeah, so the road from New Sorpigal goes to Sweetwater and then it goes to the hive for some reason. I don't know if it was built by the devils. But right now it's time to go back to Creekspire. Drink from the well. To get plus 30 levels.
Can we assist you?
And heal. I'm gonna exchange the weapons again. Who has the ritual? Ah, our sorcerer has the ritual. Yeah, she's I think the most qualified to hold the ritual of the void. Yeah, so yeah, we can't go up another level, so there's nothing lost. I mean, Cu Chulaiin is quite close, but the hive is the final dungeon of the game, so this is this is where we're gonna end. So we're standing in front of the very last episode. Okay. So here's where I'm gonna end this episode, and I'll see you in the very last, I guess, well, the last episode of the playthrough. I'm gonna do a small episode with some conclusions and go back to the charts that I was doing throughout the whole game. Yeah, so this is it. We're back home, and it's time to bring the hurt back to the devils. Thank you all for watching and have fun.